recording begins with a breath, sharp, shaky, too close to the phone's mic. I think he's in my house. That's the first thing the dispatcher hears. Not a name, not an address, just a terrified whisper from a man who never calls again. His name was Evan Mercer, a 32-year-old paramedic. Calm under pressure, rational, grounded. The kind of man who runs toward danger, not away from it. But on June 14, 2019 at 11:52 p.m., Evan sounded like someone who had already given up. He tells the operator that he's hiding in the small utility closet behind his kitchen. The dispatcher asks if he can confirm what he saw. Evan breathes in, slow, trembling. He looks like me. The dispatcher freezes. What do you mean, sir? Evan whispers again. He looks exactly like me. Same clothes, same face, same everything. There's a scratching noise in the background, slow, rhythmic, as if someone is dragging their nails across metal. Evan covers his mouth immediately. He's checking every room, Evan whispers, but he's smiling. The operator asks him if there's anyone else in the house, family, roommates. Evan says no, he lives alone. His voice cracks. He shouldn't exist. The dispatcher tries to keep him calm, tells him officers are on the way. But Evan keeps whispering, sliding lower and lower into panic. He walked past the mirror in the hall, and he didn't reflect. Officers arrive 6 minutes later. The front door is locked from the inside. No broken windows, no forced entry. Every light in the house is off, except the tiny utility closet, where they find the phone on the ground still recording. But Evan is gone. No signs of blood, no signs of a fight. Just one strange thing. The refrigerator is open, and on the frost-lined back wall, drawn with someone's finger, is a childlike smiley face, matching the exact smile police later discover in the final frame of the call's audio spectrogram. You know what spectrograms are: audio turned into visual frequency waves, and at timestamp 02.14, a distorted shape forms. 2 eyes, a mouth, smiling. Experts say it shouldn't be possible. The dispatcher who took the call quit 2 weeks later. But here's where the case becomes something investigators still refuse to talk about. The neighbor's doorbell camera captured something at 11:47 p.m., 5 minutes before Evan called 911. It shows Evan jogging up to his front porch. He looks stressed. He keeps looking over his shoulder. He unlocks his door and rushes inside. 2 minutes later, someone else walks up the same path. It's Evan. Same clothes, same walk, same haircut, same everything. He reaches the door, places his hand on the knob, and smiles. Then he looks directly at the camera, like he's aware he's being watched, and tilts his head in an unnatural, perfect 45-degree angle. Police technicians said the tilt was physically impossible for a normal human neck. Here's the terrifying part. The Evan in the video walks into the house without opening the door. He passes through it, like smoke, or a shadow, or something wearing Evan's shape. Investigators tried to debunk the footage, compression errors, corruption, AI glitch, but the timestamp, the shadows, the reflection on the doorknob, all of it is real, undeniably real. The second Evan has never been identified. In reports, he's labeled as Subject X, unknown entity. But the case gets even darker. 3 months later, a man in the next town over calls the police. He reports seeing a stranger standing in his backyard at night. The man looked familiar, too familiar. Like me, he told officers. Older, smiling. Police searched the yard. Nothing. Next month, another call. A woman says she woke up and saw someone in her hallway. Someone wearing her clothes. Someone who moved like her, only wrong, reversed, mirrored. Then another call. And another. Different towns, different people, different homes. But every witness described the same exact detail. It looked like me, except the smile wasn't mine. Investigators connected 12 cases with similar reports in a 50-mile radius surrounding Evan's disappearance. But here's something the public was never told. In each house, the refrigerator door was found slightly open, with the same frost-drawn smiley face inside. One detective said it felt like whoever, or whatever it was, left a signature, a taunt, or a promise. By year's end, the police quietly ended the investigation. Official statement: insufficient evidence. But an officer who anonymously leaked the internal files said something chilling. "We didn't close it because we solved it. We closed it because we understood it." He refused to explain what that meant, but he left a warning. If you ever feel watched inside your own home, don't check the mirror. The last known update came 2 years later. A doorbell camera from a neighborhood 3 states away captured a man walking past at 2:13 a.m. Normal looking, casual, but when the camera glitched for a split second, just long enough to distort the motion, the figure's face changed. It became Evan. Same eyes, same face, same faint smile. Police analyzed the footage. The height, build, gait, all an exact match for Evan Mercer. But Evan never reappeared, never came home, never called again. So investigators gave the footage a different label. Subject X, migratory pattern behavior. Meaning, it moves, it travels, it changes shape, and it chooses specific people to mimic. The final police note leaked from the file is only one sentence. Some cases don't stay closed. Some cases get closer. And to this day, officers still won't answer the question everyone asks. If the thing looked exactly like him, then which one walked into the house first? The footage begins with a sound that investigators still argue about today. A double chime, like 2 doorbells ringing at the exact same time. Not 1, 2, perfectly synchronized. It happened at 1:14 a.m. when Rachel Dawes, a 29-year-old nurse living alone, walked toward her front door after hearing someone ring the bell. The footage is from her hallway camera, motion-triggered, low light, grainy. You see Rachel pause halfway down the hall. Her head tilts slightly, listening. Then she whispers, "Who's there?" No answer. She steps closer, cautious, tense. You can almost hear her heartbeat through the microphone. Her slippers shuffle softly against the wooden floor. She reaches the small console table near the entrance, grabs her phone, and unlocks it. Police later confirmed she had already dialed 3 digits. 9, 1. She never pressed the last one. Her hand freezes, her eyes widen. Someone else rings the bell again, louder, harder, insistent. Rachel inches toward the peephole. A tiny gasp escapes her, and she whispers, "That's me." Investigators say her voice in that moment wasn't fear. It was confusion, shock, the disbelief of seeing something impossible. She takes one slow step back, never breaking eye contact with whatever she's seeing through the peephole. The footage captures a faint scratching sound, like someone dragging their fingers down the front door from the outside. She whispers again, "Why do I look wet?" Police would later confirm it had been a clear, dry night. No rain, no puddles, nothing that would explain what she saw. The scratching stops. Silence. Then a knock. Soft, childlike. 3 taps. Rachel almost drops her phone. The hallway camera catches her trembling, backing up until her shoulders hit the wall behind her. But what happens next is the reason this case still terrifies investigators. Rachel's phone buzzes. A notification pops up. Front doorbell camera. Motion detected. She taps it, opens the live stream, and the app shows herself standing outside her own door. Same pajamas, same messy bun, same bruise on her left shoulder from work the day before. Except, in the camera feed, the second Rachel is smiling. A wide, unnatural smile that doesn't reach the eyes. Rachel whispers, "That isn't me. That isn't me." She tries to walk backward, but she steps on her own phone charger cable and stumbles. Outside, The smiling version of her tilts her head, slowly, mechanically, almost like it's listening, waiting. But the moment she enters the kitchen, she stops dead. The back door, the one she always keeps locked, is slightly open, just 2 inches. A cold draft slips through the gap and brushes her hair. And then, someone whispers from behind the door, "Let me in." It's her voice, identical, perfect. Now there were 2 hers, one at the front door, one at the back. This detail still haunts the investigation because there's no rational way to duplicate a person's voice that precisely in real time. Rachel staggers backward, hands shaking, knocking over a chair. The back door creaks open, not pushed, not forced, but like someone on the other side slid inside without needing to open it fully. A figure slips into view, and it's her again. But this Rachel is worse. Her hair is dripping. Her clothes cling to her like she'd been submerged in water. Her eyes stare forward without blinking. She steps inside and smiles the identical smile. Rachel grabs a knife from the counter, pointing it in all directions, backing up until she hits the hallway again. 2 versions of her now approaching, one from the front, one from the back, both moving with the same rhythm, the same breathing, the same slight tilt of the head. The knife shakes in her hand. The hallway camera captures something chilling. The 2 copies pause at the exact same moment. Their smiles widen at the exact same moment, and they speak at the exact same moment. "We want to show you what you look like." The lights flicker once. Rachel screams and swings the knife, but the camera glitches, hard, like something electromagnetic ripped through the house. When the feed returns, the hallway is empty. No Rachel, no copies, no struggle, no blood, just the front door hanging open. Police arrived 7 minutes later, responding to silent alerts triggered by her security system. They found the house empty, every door locked from the inside, every window sealed. Her car still in the driveway, phone on the kitchen floor. But in the live stream recording automatically saved to the cloud, investigators noticed something horrifying that they never released to the public. At the very end of the footage, after the glitch, the camera shows a figure standing in the far corner of the hallway. Motionless, facing the camera, it's Rachel, or something wearing her shape. But the timestamp says this: 1:14 a.m., 3 minutes before the first ring, meaning whatever took her was already inside before she even walked toward the door. It had been standing in the dark hallway, watching her approach the door, watching her lift the phone, watching her whisper into the peephole, all while the real Rachel still existed. One investigator wrote in his confidential notes, "She didn't answer the door, she answered herself." And the most chilling part, since the incident, 3 neighbors on the same street reported the same thing. Someone rang their doorbell late at night. When they checked the camera feed, they saw themselves standing outside, same body, same clothes, same expression, but always smiling. He woke up gasping, not because of a nightmare, but because he couldn't remember his own name. The man lying on the kitchen floor of a small apartment wasn't injured, wasn't drunk, wasn't confused. He simply wasn't himself anymore. He stood up, looking around. He didn't recognize the fridge covered in magnets. He didn't recognize the shoes by the door. He didn't recognize the quiet suburban street outside the window. But the worst part? He didn't recognize the man in the photos on the wall, a man who looked exactly like him. Every photo showed the same face, same jawline, same haircut, same slight scar above the eyebrow, except the man in the photos had a wife, kids, friends, a life this man didn't remember. He checked the ID sitting on the counter. Michael Rowe, age 41. He whispered the name. It felt wrong in his mouth, foreign, like wearing someone else's clothes. That's when he heard the knock. 3 slow taps. He walked toward the door. Before opening it, he checked the peephole. A woman stood outside, crying. "Michael, please," she whispered, "just let me explain." Her voice cracked on the last word: desperation, fear, or guilt. He opened the door slowly. The woman threw her arms around him immediately. "I'm so sorry," she sobbed. "I didn't think it would go like this." He stood frozen. He didn't know her, but she clearly knew him. She pulled back and studied his face. Her expression changed: confusion, then panic. "You're not him." He tried to speak. She stepped back, covering her mouth. Her voice trembled. "Not again. Please, not again." She turned and ran down the steps, sprinting to her car, fumbling for her keys. Before he could react, before he could even process, his vision blurred. The hallway twisted. The floor rippled. Then, a memory, but not his. A family dinner, laughing, children running around, a birthday cake, a warm hand resting on his shoulder. He blinked, and it was gone, like a dream swallowed by daylight. Another memory hit, faster, sharper, a heated argument between Michael and the same woman who ran away. Her saying, "If you keep doing this, something terrible will happen." Then that memory faded too. He gripped the wall to steady himself. What's happening to me? Another knock, except this one came from the bedroom. He turned slowly. The door was slightly open, darkness swallowing the space behind it. He walked toward it, heart pounding. He pushed it open. Inside, the room was almost empty. No bed, no furniture, just a single chair sitting in the middle, and on the chair, another ID card. He picked it up, a different name, different age, different city. Zachary Witt, age 28. He blinked hard, another flash of memories, running through rain, police sirens, a motel room, a woman's scream, gone. He staggered backward, clutching his head. Why did he remember lives he never lived? Why did his mind feel divided? Someone else's childhood, someone else's fears, someone else's voice whispering, "Give it back." He stumbled into the bathroom and splashed water on his face. Then he froze. In the mirror, the man staring back at him wasn't him anymore. It was the second ID, Zachary. Same haircut, same eyes, same expression of pure fear. He wiped the mirror with his hand, and the reflection changed again. Now it was someone older, someone tired, someone with a scar across his lip. Another life, another identity, another man. He looked behind him, no one there. He looked back at the mirror, another new face, then another, and another. A rapid slideshow of different versions of himself, different ages, heights, clothing, injuries, like flipping through dozens of strangers who somehow all shared his bones. One stopped, a face he didn't recognize, but something about it felt cold, not angry, not sad, empty. The reflection's lips moved independent of his own. "Stop running." He stumbled back. The mirror cracked from the inside, like something hit it from behind the glass. He turned and ran into the living room. The photos on the wall had changed. The faces in them weren't Michael's anymore. They were all different men, different lives, all sharing one disturbing detail. Every face looked terrified. Every face was mid-scream, and every face had the same eyes. His. He grabbed his keys and bolted out of the house. He didn't know where he was running, only that he needed to get away. He reached the street just as a car screeched to a stop beside him. The woman from earlier stepped out, hands shaking. "You need to get in, now." He hesitated. She whispered, "You're not the first one this has happened to." He got in. She sped off. Her hands trembled on the steering wheel. He started losing himself, she said quietly, mixing with the others, forgetting who he was, becoming someone new every morning. He stared at her. "Who?" She swallowed hard. "My husband. The real Michael." He felt his chest tighten. She whispered, "I think whatever took him is inside you now." Before he could respond, his vision flickered again. A memory of running through woods, another of holding someone's hand in a hospital, another of sitting in a police interrogation room, Dozens of lives, dozens of faces, all trapped in him. He clutched his head, gasping. She pulled over, tears streaming. "There's something you have to know," she whispered. "You weren't the first man I found in my kitchen, acting like he didn't know his own name." He froze, her voice cracked. "You were the seventh." He stared at her, horrified. She whispered, "And every single one before you changed into someone else." His breath shook. "What happened to them?" She didn't answer, just looked at him, eyes full of pity and fear. Then she said something he'll never forget. "You aren't becoming them. They're becoming you." His vision snapped. His reflection in the car window twisted, faces overlapping, merging. A carousel of strangers morphing into him. A chorus of voices whispered, "Give it back." And then the car door opened, but he didn't open it. The last thing she saw was him stepping out of the car, except his face wasn't the same anymore. It was another man, another life, another identity completely. He whispered from the side of the road, "I remember now, but I don't think I'm me anymore." She drove away screaming. Police never found him, or Michael, or the other 6, just 7 different IDs, in 7 different houses, with 7 different mirrors left cracked, all from the inside. And investigators still argue over this final detail from the report. Every witness description says the same thing. "He looked like a different person every time I blinked."